Hi, welcome back to Cara's Kitchen Cooking. Tonight we are making everyone's favorite roast chicken. I'm going to show you how to keep that breast meat extra juicy and crispy. Guys, what I recommend with your chicken, if you could take it out about 45 minutes and put it on a plate before you start this whole thing, it's really good for the meat to come to room temperature. It'll cook more evenly and crisp up. First things first, we're going to turn on our oven to 400. When making a roast, most people would use a trivet. This goes inside your roaster or pan and prevents your meat from sticking to the bottom. But we are not going to do that today. We are going to do a trivet with vegetables. So one, it does the same thing. It keeps the chicken elevated and from sticking to the bottom. But two, it is going to give you extra flavor for when you make your gravy. I learned this tip from Jamie Oliver. Love him. Okay, so I have some carrots here. I've already peeled and cut them. Now it's just me and Justin, so I'm not going to pile a bunch. That should be enough for us. Next thing, I'm going to add some onions. Onions are great for flavor. Just scatter them around. Okay. Then, at this point, I'm going to add some freshly peeled garlic, 2 bay leaves. All right, I love using these little new potatoes. I don't have to peel them, I don't have to cut them. I just have to take them out of the package, rinse them, and dump them. So we're gonna put a couple. I love also these multicolored ones. They are super fun. Okay, that's enough potato. Again, it's just me and Justin. All right, now we are going to add 2 cups of chicken stock. I'm using some chicken bouillon, guys, that I added water to because convenience, okay? You, like what I've said before, use what you've got on hand. We are going to add just a little sprinkling of salt, a little fresh ground pepper. What we're doing right now is adding just layers of flavor to when we make our beautiful gravy. Now I'm going to add a fresh sprig of rosemary. Love rosemary. You could add fresh thyme, you could add fresh oregano, anything that's like kind of woody that'll hold up. And if you don't have fresh, then use dried. So in that goes. Okay, so that's done. We're going to just set this aside just for a second. We're going to take lemon. Now I'm using a whole lemon because it's small. If you have a big lemon, just use half, okay? So we're going to cut our lemon in half. This is going to go inside our chicken, along with 2 cloves of garlic and some more rosemary because I love rosemary. All right, so I'm taking my chicken. I'm going to put it on my trivet. I'm going to take my lemon halves and I'm going to stuff it inside. This is not a huge bird. I'll let you show you that's about this size. But it's the little chickens you can find, you know, at your local grocery store. This is like, I think, the organic chickens sometimes are smaller. Okay, so I've stuffed all the good stuff inside the chicken. Now I'm going to turn the chicken breast down. Okay? I'm going to wash my hands. So you're probably wondering, why did I turn the chicken and put it breast down? By doing that, it keeps the breast meat moist. Now it's not going to cook like that the whole time. We're going to cook the chicken with the breast down like this for 20 minutes. So we're going to set the timer for 20 minutes. Then we're going to take it out and flip it over and continue the cooking time. Okay? At this point now, I'm just going to put a little bit of salt. We always want to be seasoning our food. So we want to season both sides of this chicken. Okay, a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to put a little bit of paprika because I love pepper. Oops. Well, a little bit too much came out. That's okay. All right. This bird is ready to go in the oven. Okay. I'm going to put this on the middle rack. Just wanted to take this time to say thank you so much for following me, for subscribing. Thank you for all the amazing comments. While I was reading some of those comments, I came across a question and I thought I'd take some time to answer it. So in a previous episode where I made salmon with a citrus coconut sauce, one of the viewers asked, I love salmon, but I often don't cook it because I have a small kitchen. How is there a way to get rid of the fishy smell? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to grab a saucepan and you're going to add a half a cup of white vinegar and a half a cup of water to that saucepan. You're going to put it on your stove, bring it to a boil, and then turn it right down and leave it cooking at a simmer while you cook your fish. Now, if you want to add more fragrance while you're cooking, you could add a cinnamon stick, some cloves, some anise, and then your house will smell like Christmas. Or if you don't want to go that route, you could add some rosemary and some thyme, and then you have this beautiful herbaceous scent. You don't have to add a thing. You can just leave the water and vinegar. Now I know what you're thinking. Some are going to say, but isn't my house then going to smell like vinegar? It will for the first little bit, and then it'll completely dissipate and neutralize, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I hope that helped. And hey guys, if any of you have questions or things you've been wondering about, please feel free to ask me and leave it in the comment section, and I will try and answer those in the next episode. All right, it's time to take the chicken out. Oh, lovely. See that, guys? It's already nice and crispy on the underside. Now we're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna use my trusty tongs here. Okay. There we go. He's giving me a hard time. Oh, there we go. And we are going to season it. Roast chicken is a classic for a reason. It brings people together. It's nostalgic. You know, I have memories of my mom making roast chicken. My best friend Jana, her father Jim, and Gertie Party from Newfoundland, they come up and visit once or twice a year. And I was having them over for supper, and I was like, what should I make? And I'm like, roast chicken. So I made this roast chicken dinner for Jim and Gertie Party. And afterwards, Jana's like, my gosh, she's like, how'd you cook that chicken? She's like, my dad can't stop talking about your roast chicken. My mom called me and asked me, how does Cara make her chicken? Your father just can't stop talking about it. So that was so flattering to know that I had brought joy to Jim and Gertie with my roast chicken. There we go. The perfect sprinkling of paprika for the chicken. Now, guys, you probably will have seen people smother butter on the chicken or smother olive oil all over the chicken, and you can totally do that. But I also want to show you by just keeping it simple, salt and pepper and a little smoked paprika or your seasoning of choice. This chicken is still going to brown. It's still going to be delicious, okay? This is about what you have in your kitchen and using what you've got. So you don't need all the extras for it to taste great, okay? So you're going to want to cook the chicken for 40 minutes at this point. For this size chicken, if your chicken is bigger, then I would suggest putting it in for at least 50 to 55 minutes. And you can always check it midway through to see where you're at in terms of the internal temperature. While the chicken is cooking, this would be a great time to get your saucepan out and prep and pre-measure your ingredients for your gravy. Now, you could just take those pan juices and spoon it over your chicken. It will be delicious. You do not have to make a gravy. But you know me, I'm going to show you and give you an extra step. Not a complicated one, a tasty one though. For chicken to be cooked, it needs to be at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And Justin, what does it have to be for Celsius?
About 78.9.
All right. Okay guys, so my chicken has been cooking. It's not quite done yet. I checked the internal temperature and it's not to 165, but I'm loving the color and I don't want it to burn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with some foil. That's just it'll continue to cook, but then that skin isn't going to burn. Okay guys, our chicken is perfection. It's exactly 165. Okay, we're gonna put this beautiful bird on a plate. And guys, we're gonna let this rest for 15 to 20 minutes. If it was a bigger bird, I'd say 20, 25. And what resting does, it allows the muscle tissue to relax and then for the juices to redistribute. If you were to cut into this chicken right now, all those beautiful juices would run out and you'd have dry meat, no matter how tender the cut was. Okay, so I'm just gonna place it over here. and that's gonna rest. Let's check our vegetables and see if they're tender. I believe they are. Let's check. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Just right. Carrots are perfect. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take out the vegetables and put them in a casserole dish. And we're gonna put them back in the oven so they stay warm. While the chicken is resting and the veg are staying warm in the oven, this is the perfect time to make your gravy. This is a gravy fat strainer, separator. I don't know the official term, but it's wonderful. You pour your gravy juices in here and then it separates. So when you pour it, you're not getting all the fat. Now my grandmother back in the day, what she would do is she'd put a couple ice cubes in with her gravy, take it off the heat and stir them around, and then the fat would all kind of collect on the ice cubes. But I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna use my separator. But in a pinch, guys, if you don't have a separator, try it out. If it's good enough for grandma, it's good enough for you. All right, so in that goes. Be really careful because your roasting pan's gonna be super hot. Try to get every last bit of it. Okay. Now, actually, there's not much fat in there, guys. There's hardly any. So you know what? I think I'm just gonna use the whole thing. It was still helpful to do though because all those extra bits got trapped in there, and that means it'll be a nice smooth gravy. So I'm gonna show you how to make the roux again and how we can incorporate the chicken juices into our roux to make a delicious, luscious gravy. So we're going to turn our burner to about a 6. I have here 2 tablespoons of butter of choice. So I'm using a vegan butter today. And guys, I wanted to show you that when you use vegan butter and you use gluten-free flour, you will still get a beautiful roux. So this is 2 tablespoons of all-purpose gluten-free flour blend. And it goes. Now, we are going to whisk this around. Okay, and we're going to cook this. Now, we're going to cook this a little bit longer than the roux I showed you how to make before for the croque monsieur. Remember the bechamel roux? Roux, sorry, not roux. Roux is a street in French. This is roux. And this is a great way to make a gravy base. Now, in the bechamel gravy, we only cooked it for about a minute or 2 because we didn't want the gravy to be really dark. Where I find for roast chicken gravies or turkey gravies, I like a little darker color. So we're going to let the flour butter mixture cook a little longer. You're going to see it change. And what that does, it also gives a bit more flavor to your sauce. The longer you cook it, the darker it'll go and the richer your gravy will be. So come take a look. Here it is right now, okay? Constantly be whisking this, guys, so it doesn't burn, okay? And keep an eye on the color. Here it is at the 2-minute mark. You see how it's white? So that's where we would add the milk in if we were making the white bechamel sauce, but we're not. So I'm gonna let this cook a little longer. So look at the color. Look how it's changed. That is about 4.5 minutes. Constantly stirring. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of milk, but gradually. Okay, keep stirring it. See how it's thickening up? Lovely. Now we're gonna add this gorgeous, the juices from your roast in. Oh my God, I'm gonna turn my burner off because we don't need to cook anymore. Now guys, if you feel that this is too thick, you can always add a little bit more milk. I used almond milk today. So this is both gluten and dairy-free gravy. I'm going to taste this in a second. I'm going to take it actually off the burner. And I'm going to grab a spoon and taste it to see if it needs any additional seasoning. Okay, so it's going to be hot, guys, so careful. Oh, that's lovely. I think I'm going to add a little bit of, it needs a little bit of pepper and it needs a little bit of salt. So the chicken has been resting and there's some juices that are here. And also, remember when we put in the lemon and all the herbs and things? That released also some juice and also permeated and went into the chicken while it was cooking. I'm going to hold the chicken. This is nice and cool now. And I'm going to add all that deliciousness to the gravy. We do not want to waste any flavor, guys. Next up, we are ready to plate. We'll take out our vegetables that I've been keeping warm. We'll cut into that gorgeous chicken and add the gravy. Okay, so we're going to cut the string so we can get at the meat. Okay, wonderful. Right, we are ready to carve the chicken. Make sure you have a very sharp knife. A lot of accidents happen in the kitchen because knives are dull, they slip, and there's a trip to the emergency room. Okay, nice big fork. We are going to cut the leg. I love dark meat. So we're going to be using the, oh, that came off gorgeously. Put this on the plate. Beautiful. Now we're going to get some of our beautiful, gorgeously cooked, tender as anything, vegetables and some potato. We're going to spoon over this beautiful, oh, look at that. I am a gravy girl. I don't know about y'all, but oh my goodness, gravy. There can never be too much gravy. A little extra there. Cover that potato up. Whoosh. I'm going to put just a sprinkling of fresh pepper on this. Perk up those flavors a bit. There you have it, guys. Roast chicken. Oh, I wish there was smell-o-vision. That just brings me home. Next week, join us as Cara's Kitchen Cooking will be traveling, well, to another house in the city, to my friend Sam's house, where I'll be showing her how to make ackee and saltfish, a delightfully delicious Jamaican dish.